Hey everybody, it's Tyler. Do you remember the draft? It wasn't that long ago. Do you remember what RJ Barrett looked like at the draft? He had a pink suit on. It was dope. One of the coolest looks, personally, for me, I have ever seen. That is an Indochino suit. He has been wearing Indochino this entire season, and you could wear Indochino. It doesn't have to be as loud as a pink suit, but you could wear Indochino and look that good. Indochino is the world's largest made-to-measure menswear brand. They make suits, they make shirts, coats, more. Everything is made to your exact measurements for a great fit. And plus, you get to personalize all the details, your lapel, the lining, your own monogram, all this dope stuff. You can look as cool as RJ Barrett looked. He's got a brand new collection on Indochino. It just dropped. It's featuring limited edition fabrics and jacket linings that RJ helped pick out and design. Right now, you can get $30 off your total purchase of $399 or more at Indochino.com when you enter Blue Wire at checkout. Plus, shipping is free. That's Indochino.com. Promo code Blue Wire for $30 off your total purchase of $399 or more. An incredible deal for made-to-measure clothing. You really have no excuse anymore to wear clothing that doesn't fit. Indochino.com.
Blue Wire. Kirk Cousins, he's going to be a Minnesota Viking. This was the right call.
Cousins, pressure, hit as he throws, going for Thielen. He's got it! Touchdown! Oh my Diggs! Stay up! Oh my God! 30! No! 10! Touchdown! It's a Minneapolis miracle!
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into Bleeding Purple, a podcast about the Minnesota Vikings. We are part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. We are brought to you this week by Indochino and by Harry's and by Roman. I'm pretty sure. That's the list. I hope I didn't mess it up. I had it written down last time. I don't have it written down today. My name is Tyler Haig. I am joined as always by Mr. Adam Patrick. How are you, good sir?
Good. I'm just trying to recover from what might be a big loss for the Vikings moving forward for the rest of the season. Not sure how they're gonna do without Kari Blasingame for the rest of the year. Practice squad fullback. I don't know if.
Well, God, I mean, can never have enough fullbacks. That's what Mike Zimmer says. Oh no, wait.
I mean, they were doing so well, and now that happens, and so.
What are we gonna? Yeah, I mean, really,
see what they can do.
I was gonna say this episode is basically going to be should they call it quits for the year because of this?
Yeah.
Or should they
start preparing for the draft? Just start preparing for the draft.
You might have to
trade everybody.
Trade everybody. Get them all out of here. Obviously, keep Kirk Cousins and everybody else trade.
Give him an extension.
I'm just trying to make people as angry as possible. So, well, that's very important news. I'm glad you brought that up. We'll see what they can do going forward.
Yep.
In other news, Vikings related, Dalvin Cook played pretty well. He's the NFC Player of the Week.
Yeah, decent.
Seems okay. Very quietly, we have a lot of hardware piling up for this football team. There's a lot of Player of the Months and Player of the Weeks and Special Teams Players of the Weeks, which is high-quality hardware, Adam. I'm not sure if you knew, but they don't just give that out to anybody. You got to perform well. I think these are a direct reflection of, they've been playing really well. We know what their competition has looked like. But for Dalvin Cook to be the NFC Player of the Week when they were playing the Cowboys, that's an important, I think that actually is cool and a good sign going forward. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird because I don't think he had an amazing game.
I agree.
But at the same time, it might not feel amazing because he does that he has that kind of performance so often.
Yeah.
This season especially.
Yep.
So it was still impressive. I think he had over 180 total yards. And I read somewhere that now he's one of 4 players in NFL history to have, through the first 10 games, have 900 rushing yards, over 400 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns. And the other 3 were LaDainian Tomlinson,
Marshall Faulk.
Or Todd Gurley and Priest Holmes.
Wow, Priest Holmes. I haven't heard.
Yeah,
that
what a name
in
drop, right?
forever. Holy.
And I think Tomlinson won the MVP that year. So, and I did see it somewhere else that Dalvin Cook's like his pace this year is better than Adrian Peterson's pace, like as far as the total yards perspective goes, in 2012 when he won the league MVP. So,
pretty decent season so far.
Dalvin Cook's dipping. I think he's dipping his toes a little bit in that MVP conversation. I know people like to point at Cousins and say that he's, he should be in the conversation, but I would lean more towards Cook for the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard for me to disagree with. Yeah, I think you nailed it earlier when you said Dalvin Cook is like, it's deceptive. He quietly, the 3 to 4 yard runs earlier in the game, by the end of the game, turn into 6, 7, 8 yard runs sometimes. And yeah, I mean, it's almost like he flies under the radar because he's being so productive in such quiet ways, I guess. I mean, aside from
it's expected now.
Yeah, exactly. And I can only think of the Green Bay run where it was like, oh wow, that was a crazy game breaking one fell swoop play, because Adrian Peterson used to have a lot of those. Dalvin Cook doesn't do that. It's like chunks of yards.
Big chunks, yeah.
Big chunks.
Well, yeah. Well, sometimes if they're near the red zone, I feel like they'll be able to just bang it in from 20 yards out, 15 yards out. But then again, he had that play was against the Redskins where he took the screen pass and just ran all over the field and gained 40 or 50 yards. So
yeah.
He's still got those in him, and just comes. He gets so many just big chunk yards. I feel like he hardly ever loses yards on a carry.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
And he does that get better as the game goes on thing too.
Yeah, and they keep feeding him, and the defense is like, come on, stop. We can't slow him down.
We didn't really talk about this on Monday's episode, but that was something that I think was crazy important, not only for that one game, but for the Vikings in general, was they had that one drive where they ran the ball. It was 10 times in a row, and it was so obvious that Dallas knew they were going to run, and it was so obvious that they were not going to be able to stop Dalvin Cook, and those gains just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That was demoralizing for Dallas, and that's the kind of thing that Mike Zimmer wants to see. When he talks about running the ball more, that's the stuff that he's talking about. It's like that.
And you can still have those drives on a team like this, as long as you get everything else going beforehand, and the running game doesn't become
the only thing you're doing.
The only option for you to have. That way, even if you want to have a drive like that, you can, because the defense is still going to be okay, they still might pass on the next play. We don't know. Even though they've run 9 times in a row, they still might pass on the next play.
Exactly.
But they didn't. So.
And it all goes hand in hand, too, because that's part of what makes that bootleg stuff so effective, is that you're so concerned with Dalvin Cook taking 7-8 yards a crack that all of a sudden Kirk has the ball and he's over there by himself waiting for somebody to come open. It's a good sign. Humans have been shaving for thousands of years, and the secret to a great shave, it hasn't changed much. The ancient Greeks didn't need flex balls or heated handles, and neither do you. That is why Harry's doesn't overcharge you for gimmicky features to their razors. You know what I like most about Harry's razors? It's the price. They own their own warehouse. They manufacture these things so they are cutting out the middleman. It's cheap, it's affordable, it's exactly what you need. They're durable, they're not cheap, they're affordable. It's the good stuff. This is what you want in shaving. Harry's is a return to the essential. Quality durable blades at a fair price. Just $2 per blade. Listeners of my show can redeem their Harry's trial set at harrys.com/bluewire, and you will get a weighted ergonomic handle for a firm grip, a 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel with aloe to keep your skin hydrated, and a travel blade cover to keep your razor dry and easy to grab on the go. Go to harrys.com/bluewire to start shaving better today. Big news. NFL news, Adam. Colin Kaepernick.
Madison back there kind of creates some of that too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What? Yeah.
Big news. NFL news. Colin Kaepernick. He's going to get a workout.
Who?
They're going to tape it. It's going to be on Tuesday.
Running back?
No, he's a quarterback. He actually got to that one for whatever reason they just let him do that. But let me phrase it like this. Two questions. Do you think he's going to get signed off of this workout? And if you think he is going to get signed, how effective do you think he can be for a team today in 2019?
I don't know if he'll get signed this year. I think his chances of getting signed maybe in the off season are better. At least getting a shot in camp, in someone's camp. But yeah, I don't know. It seems a little late in the season. I don't know. Maybe a team like the Steelers, who, behind Mason Rudolph, I don't really know who they have, or a team even like the Panthers, who are rolling with Kyle Allen. Like some of those teams that are, they're still in the hunt, and their backup situation maybe isn't that great. Just to have someone in their quarterback room who has more experience. And those are two teams too that I feel like maybe the locker rooms are good, are in a good place, and the coaches, and the coaches are good to handle that. And in Carolina, Eric Reed he's already on the roster there, and he was with Kaepernick in San Francisco. And then Mike Tomlin's known for having a bunch of I don't want to put Colin Kaepernick in the same category as Antonio Brown, but guys that draw attention for stuff that they do off the field. And not to say that Colin Kaepernick, what he does off the field is bad in any way, because it's not. But just he's going to draw attention wherever he goes, because right now he draws attention for news outlets to write about and report about, and that's just the truth. And if you're gonna try and think that it's not, then you're lying to yourself. That's
totally it. It's not fair, it's not cool, but that's what it is. It's a non-football distraction is how teams are going to see it, and it sucks. In my opinion, it sucks that it's put in the same category as like a Ray Rice or an Antonio Brown or that kind of stuff. But I mean,
and you know what? Depending where he lands, if he lands anywhere, I think it might be a big story for a week, and then it'll die down because something else will happen in the NFL. Baker Mayfield will rip off his jersey in the middle of the field or something. So
yeah,
it's a fast. I feel like it's a pretty fast news cycle in the NFL. Something happens, and pretty much the next day, especially during the season, the next day, there's something else to talk about that grabs everyone's attention.
And especially if we're talking distractions from a political standpoint, that is maybe even a faster news cycle than the sports news cycle. So that would be, that would be in and out in 24 hours, and they'd be over it because Donald Trump tweeted again. There's always something else to talk about in that respect. But let me ask you this about Colin Kaepernick. Do you think the Vikings should have interest in it? Because Kirk Cousins' contract is coming up.
Yeah. Currently writing about it.
Ooh.
But
tease there.
I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna look at some reasons why they should sign him and why they shouldn't, and then I'll give my prediction. And my prediction would be that no, they won't sign him.
No.
Because they've already made it pretty clear that they don't want a backup, which is what he would be if he was signed. They don't want a backup to come in and be able to challenge Kirk Cousins' job. So as much as people like to, brush aside that Colin Kaepernick, he's not that good or whatever, he did get a team to the Super Bowl. He has looked good in a number of games. So he does have talent. He's been out of the league for a bunch of years, so he's probably pretty healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever he goes, he's going to want to, compete for that top spot. And the Vikings are not a team that's looking to get someone like that.
100%. I completely agree. I don't think they are going to have any interest in it. from any angle. I don't think they're interested in him. Even if he didn't have the off the field stuff, I don't think that would be a move that they would make. Well, you kind of answered.
I think he would fit in though.
Yeah, I think so too. They totally could do it.
Sign him. I think their locker room is solid enough where they can, handle something like that.
100%. And I think this would maybe not be the worst spot ever.
Not to say that it's a. Yeah, and again, not to say that Kaepernick is a problem or something like that, because he's not. It's just he's going to come with a lot of media attention because that's the easy, story to write about.
100%. That's what I'm thinking. Like, what's the best place for him for this to blow over and he can get back to playing football? Minnesota, when it's snowing in November, and no one's going to want to come up here. It's going to be a hot minute thing. You're not even the starter, and go practice and whatever. But yeah, like I said, I don't think it's going to happen.
I wouldn't even be surprised if he went to a place, I don't know, maybe like Green Bay. Just be behind Aaron Rodgers.
What do you think about New England, possibly?
Be in there. And yeah, I don't know about that, because I feel like some relationships with owners and coaches and quarterbacks already with a certain president might play in
yeah. Right. My bad. Talking about erectile dysfunction isn't easy. Usually we just brush it off or blame ourselves, saying things like I lost my mojo, or we avoid it altogether with excuses like I had a long day at work, or sorry honey, I'm just not feeling it. But with Roman, it is easy to talk about it with a real doctor who can prescribe real medication. It's simple, safe, and totally discreet. With Roman, you get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your own home. The doctor will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, Roman will ship it to you with free 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward, simple, and discreet. Getting started is easy. Just go to getroman.com/bluewire and complete an online visit. ED used to be tough to tackle, but now there's Roman. Complete an online visit today and reconnect with the doctor and take care of it. Just go to getroman.com/bluewire to get a free online visit and free 2-day shipping. That's getroman.com/bluewire for a free visit to get started. getroman.com/bluewire. My bad. I'm just thinking of who's the team that can most.
No, that's the kind of move they would. The Patriots would make that kind of move.
100%. And he would be a terrifying weapon, and they would use him all the way to the Super Bowl and then let him go after the end of the year and let him go play for whoever. But I'm trying to think of who would take a chance on him where they could add to the team and not disrupt anything. And it's really hard to come up with a good team that would.
The Ravens.
That. I mean, but they got a better version of him already, and he's younger and he's more affordable.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to think of someone who he could go, because he's not. I don't think anyone's going to bring him in to be a starter. At least not right away.
Yeah,
because it's too late in the season.
Yeah, you're probably right. I guess I was thinking more of a gadget play thing where you bring him in almost like a wildcat, and you get 4 or 5 of the
like a Taysom Hill kind of.
Totally, yeah. That's a great way to a great comparison there. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, he's got to have time to learn the playbook and everything for, if he lands with the team. So wherever he goes, if he goes anywhere, it would be as a backup. And then maybe next year he can compete to be a starter somewhere, which I think he deserves a shot just as much as some of these other chumps around the NFL that don't have any reason to be in the NFL.
For real. Just that's the thing that bothers me the most about this whole thing. It's whatever his political leanings are, or however you feel about the way he, we're really going to parade out this group of gnarly backup quarterbacks who can no one's going to give him a chance. Nobody. No. Come on. And you're Peterman is the first name that comes to mind. And I'm sorry, Nathan Peterman. But, dudes like that. You're just swapping out 10 new guys like that. But Colin Kaepernick can't get a call. Give me a break. So from that perspective, I am happy that they at least are making an effort to, I don't know, to get him back into his work position that he should be in. Yeah, allegedly, exactly. And I got a lot of skepticism behind this too that I'm not going to put out on this podcast because I am hoping for the best and I don't want to burn it down right now, but yeah, skeptical. I'm pretty skeptical of this whole thing. Did I say that he was going to work out on a Tuesday? That would be normal. He's going to work out on a Saturday.
Yeah, he wanted to.
Like, 4 days after
when they're all
announced
at college games.
Yeah, stupid.
And most teams, front office guys and scouts are at college games on Saturdays, so that that works out.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, nowhere else where that would distract these guys who would want to come see. It drives me crazy. It feels.
My whole thing is though, like, why didn't Kaepernick just hold his own workout? Why does he have to, depend on the NFL? Just say you're holding the workout on Tuesday and be like, if teams want to come, then they can come. Why does he have to go through the NFL? And I don't know if it has to do with like legal reasons, like collusion and stuff. Like teams have to check in with the NFL to see if they can even, contact Kaepernick
while he's in the midst.
But yeah,
of
I was
that.
just confused by that. Why can't he just do his own? Because we've had guys like Johnny Manziel and stuff do that before, where they just hold their own workout. If you want to see them play, then come watch.
Yeah, that's a great point. And maybe that's part of why this feels so fishy to me. Is it's like the first time I've ever seen the NFL be like, have you guys seen this free agent? He's available and he's going to do a workout. I've never seen the NFL care about somebody like joining or not joining or whatever. So that doesn't seem right to me. You're also like trying to prove that like, oh no, we gave him a workout, man. It was like, well, yeah, it was 4 days on a Saturday. They're all doing okay, that was all right. And I hope it's not that. I truly do. Let's move on to the Vikings and the Broncos. It's happening on Sunday.
Yes.
I've been hearing a lot about how Denver isn't very good and people they should run right over them. It should be no problem. Look at their defense and some statistics from that defense. They are not that bad of a team. They've lost some close games. What are you looking for on Sunday from both the Broncos, I guess, and the Vikings? But do you think this is an easy win? Do you think this is... I mean, I think they should win. But do you think this is going to be an easy victory for the Vikings?
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game, or closer than people think, because if you look at the Broncos' schedule and their loss, they've lost 3 games by 2 points.
Yep.
And then like all of their other games except for one have been, within 7 points. So they're not getting blown out. Their defense is one of the best in the league. Their defense is terrible. But they're not a team to take lightly.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
They're not a team to take lightly. And it reminds me of the Bills last year, where the offense not the greatest, with a rookie quarterback in there, or an inexperienced quarterback, and then they had a really good defense, and that's pretty much the same thing with the Bills this year. Now this year, or with the Broncos this year. Now this year, Vikings have Dalvin Cook, and they didn't have him this year playing the Bills.
Yep.
I think that should make a little bit of a difference.
A little bit. I think it will help the Vikings win to have Dalvin Cook playing in this game. I agree with that. The Broncos offense is brutal. Flacco, I mean, he's done now for the season, but he was really, really bad too. So I'm not saying that this kid, I don't even do you know his name? Is it Allen? Is he another Allen? The Broncos' new backup starter?
Brandon Allen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon
Allen. Okay, cool. I'm sure he is. Does he have a mustache too? I bet he does. Whatever. But that kid. I don't know. So the offense is bad, and he has he's only got the one game, so he didn't look great. He looked like he was lost at times, but he did enough to, I don't know, not look terrible. Do you think that this offense is capable of scoring enough points to beat the Vikings? I'm having a tough time seeing that with what we're seeing from that offense, but I think the Broncos defense is good enough where the Vikings might only score 21 points in this contest.
Yeah, that's why I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. because their pass defense is really good. It's one of the best in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And their run defense is decent, which makes me, feel like Dalvin Cook will have another big role in this game plan. And then I feel like the passing game will probably take more of a back seat, and they'll look to go to the tight ends probably more than they would have in the past. Just what they've been doing recently against good pass defenses, just getting the ball to tight ends on short routes, just being able to gain some yards. But yeah, I think it has a chance to be closer. Now the Broncos defense doesn't force a lot of turnovers. I think they only have 7 all year long.
Wow.
So, yeah. So that's one thing where like they're a good defense, but they're just not. They don't force a lot of turnovers. And there's something else too. Oh, but they've only given up, I think, 13 touchdowns all year long.
Really?
So, yeah.
Was Denver the group that didn't have a sack for a really long time too? Is that them? Was that Denver that didn't have a sack for the first 4 games or something stupid like that?
But then, then they fix things, and then because Von Miller only has like 4 sacks this year, which just seems pretty low for him.
Yeah, and especially because isn't the Vic Fangio, he's the big defensive guy. He was Chicago and now came over as the head coach, and they were thinking he was going to dominate, and it hasn't worked out the way. Yeah, this is a really weird year for Denver. A lot of moving parts, a lot of turnover, a lot of new stuff happening. I don't know, trap game is like, I'm not saying it's a trap game because I think Denver's better than that, but this is like a terrifying game to me. This is the game that normal Vikings teams lose. Does that make sense? It's a sad,
the Vikings,
pessimistic way to look at it. But
the Vikings can definitely but they can. This is definitely a game they can lose. Do I think they'll lose? No. When they lose, yeah, of course. This isn't like a game where. Who did they play that? Oh, the Redskins, where we were like, we should worry about them.
And really,
no, I don't feel like it's that same. Like, I feel confident. Yeah, with the way that the offense has been playing, in their last 6 games, I think that should give people enough confidence that the Vikings can go in, and they've shown they can play like a variety of different, end it out and run the ball. All game they can do that. If they have to have a shootout, they can do that. I think the defense will probably play a lot better because of going against such a terrible offense. And another factor is the return game. I think Mike Hughes has a good chance for either a punt return, or Amir Abdullah has a good chance for kick return, because the Broncos have one of the worst coverage units on punt returns and kickoff coverage this year. So that's something
all right
to keep an eye on.
That's a little
feel
hot
like
take
the
there.
Vikings,
I like that.
Yeah, the Vikings are gonna need probably touchdowns, maybe a special teams touchdown, like a block punt or something like that, or a pick six, to put this game out of reach and get the win that they probably should.
For sure. So you're saying it's going to be close. What is your score prediction?
I think we could do 20-13.
20-13. 20-13. I am going to go 28 for the Vikings and 14 for the Broncos.
Blowout.
By the way, last week, I just feel like their offense is so bad, and the defense has been playing so not awesome lately that I think the Vikings are going to, and their Vikings are at home, and the defense is obscene at home. We talked about that repeatedly. So, yeah, 14 points. I'm okay with that. There was something else I was going to. Oh, yeah, last week we predicted Dallas. You said it was going to be 20-16, and I said 24-21. What was the final score of that football game? I can't even remember.
I think it was 28-24.
28-24.
They won by 4.
I think you're right. Yep, you're right. Yep. Yeah, we were both pretty close.
So,
I mean, from a
we're both
distance and
right?
score. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take that win. Okay, sounds good.
I don't even know. I don't even know how we determine.
It's not important. It's what's important is that everybody knows that we have correctly predicted the vast majority of these games so far this season.
Yeah, 28-24. What'd you predict?
24-21.
What'd you say? 28-24.
Yeah, 28-24, and you did too. So it's amazing that we. Yeah, I mean we're just right on. We're spot on the whole time. I said 24-21, so I wasn't right on.
Wait, did? Oh, okay.
But we
28-24 is the score.
We were both right, so. No big
deal. Yeah.
Anything else you were looking for specifically from this team?
I think good news that Minnesota fans in the state of Minnesota were probably like, because Kevin Harlan, I think, is the announcer for Sunday's game.
I did see that, and I'm so
excited.
He's the
Timberwolves guy for a while.
Yes, he was. He was the Timberwolves guy for a long time. And Rich Gannon is the other guy who used to play for the Vikings and
former Viking.
Yeah, I think lives here still. So yeah, I'm excited about that because I'm 90s. Really tired of. I don't ever want to hear Spielman anymore ever again.
Charles Davis.
Yeah, not that one either. Basically, the only teams that I'm okay with is like Kevin Harlan, Joe Buck, and Troy Aikman, and Collinsworth and Al Michaels. And I'm not even saying I like them. I like Kevin Harlan, but those are the only ones I can like tolerate.
You're not a fan of, you're not a big fan of Dick Stockton?
No.
Not knowing anyone's name?
No, I can't. Can't stand Dick Stockton. He's one of my least favorite. And then there's one other guy too. Is it Matt Millen? One of the other Fox guys is just
Matt Millen.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why he was coming into my brain, but that was weird. Okay, that's a good sign for us to end it. If Matt Millen is like randomly popping into my thoughts, it's time to get
Chris Spielman.
Chris Spielman he's definitely on my list of guys I can't stand listening to. But there's another guy on Fox that
you can or you can.
I cannot. I will put the TV on mute with Chris Spielman. Seriously, like I hate.
Yeah, I understand like color commentators are supposed to offer like another. I feel like he talks so much.
He talks so much, and he's never really given you any good information. Because then you flip it over like Tony Romo, and you're like, wow, I never knew that.
We can talk about. Did you watch the Niners and Seahawks game on Monday night?
No, I didn't.
Well, you probably didn't stay up for the whole thing because it actually went pretty late. Even for me, I think it went till 9 o'clock out here.
Ooh, God.
I know it's super late. But like, oh man! But I feel like Booger was like at his peak of being absolutely terrible.
Oh, really?
Because he was just saying some ridiculous things, like the 49ers kicker who made a kick to tie the game with 1 second left. He missed the kick in overtime, and both Tessitore and Booger were like, "Oh, I guess the moment's too big for him." And it's like he just made a tougher, more
a bigger moment
kick. Yeah, and then they said, Booger also said the stat sheet, it might not indicate that Jadeveon Clowney's had a good night, but don't look at that. He's had a good night, and the stat sheet said he had a fumble return for a touchdown and 6 quarterback hits.
Yeah, totally. Stat sheet
actually,
is just
it
lit up.
Say.
Yeah, you could just have looked at that and saw that he played a great game.
So
Booger, thanks.
They're just so bad, and I'm not looking forward to Monday night in 2 weeks when the Vikings have to play the Seahawks. Which Seahawks look pretty good.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember the last time that the Monday Night Football crew was bad enough for me to not want to watch Monday Night Football.
I feel like Dennis Miller was better.
That's what I'm saying. Seriously, Tony Kornheiser. I was more in for both.
I forgot he was even on there.
Both of those. I was more interested in that.
Because you had Al Michaels to be to balance it out with the idiotness.
Yes,
but both are on ESPN now. We're just so terrible.
And I feel bad for Joe Tessitore because I think he's good at his job. I think he just got the number one gig before he should have gotten the number one gig. ESPN should have had somebody there where we would have been like, oh, duh, of course it's him doing it. And now ESPN it's Monday Night Football, and it's who? And then Booger. And then they just sit and cackle together.
Yeah.
It's God.
I mean, for as much money as they pay for Monday Night Football, I feel like they should maybe put a little more effort in.
100%.
I feel like their pregame crew is better than their announcers.
And that's the thing.
Put Randy Moss in the booth.
Yeah, you're the mothership. You have all of the former athletes to choose from. Just pick
Rex
one of
Ryan
them and tell
there.
them to
I
have
don't
in there. Yeah, and Booger's the guy you went with. Booger and this guy. Those are your dude. Okay, all right.
Were they not have work or something? And you just felt bad, so you're like, oh, you guys can do Monday Night Football. You guys free on Mondays?
No, that's totally it. It's like, listen, we have been giving Joe these like baseball games for like almost 15 years. We gotta get him a better job. He's been asking for a really long time.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football came up, and oh yeah, that's perfect. We'll give him that, and then Witten is going to be the new. He's Tony Romo, so we're good. What
they really should do is just have like Lebitard and Stugatz just call all the games, and then it would be worth just listening to it, and then they would get so much more viewers just because people would just tune in to see what's like outrageous stuff Stugatz would say because he wouldn't even be paying attention.
That is an absolutely perfect idea. I think that is the way they should go. I'm all in. I'm all in, and no matter what game is on, I'm watching. I'm watching like despite the game.
Then they could add like a legit, because they're friends with like good play-by-play guys, so they could do something with like I don't know, Mike Tirico or something like that. But he's with NBC, but somebody
wouldn't
from
be able to have Tirico. But see, and that's the other thing too is the Monday Night Football gig. That was Tirico's gig. Monday Night Football should have been Mike Tirico and whoever else they wanted to pull with him because it wouldn't have mattered because Tirico's the bomb. And then he goes to NBC and now he doesn't even get to call anything. He's just the guy at the desk.
He's the Bob. Yeah, he's the new Dan Patrick.
Yeah, new Dan Patrick. 2 versions later of Bob Costas, I think. But Tirico, man, he's so good, and he's never going to get the call because when is Al Michaels going to retire? Never. And not that I'm like opposed to that because I think Al Michaels is great, but Tirico's just over here rotting on the bench, and we got Joe Tessitore and like the headline and gig. Come on, y'all, let's figure this out. All right, buddy.
Yeah, they need to figure that out for next year.
Definitely, it can't be the same group. I can't believe that they kept it, even though Witten left. I can't believe they kept it as the group they had with those. Just we're fine with just these 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck with that. Yeah. Anything else you want to mention before we?
No, I'm just gonna go enjoy some Disney Plus after this. So,
God, who isn't? That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Watch.
What have you been watching? Yeah, let's get into it. Who are you? I was doing Robin Hood earlier.
The old X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, X-Men cartoons. I saw Recess was on there too. Recess cartoon. Do you know that? Do you get it?
And we watched my son there. Yeah.
Okay.
We watched Toy Story today, and I didn't realize how much like adult humor is there. Like, oh, Peep's trying to get in Woody's pants.
Yeah, totally. No, it is. Yeah, that's the best part about those Pixar movies is you go into them and you know you're going to be just as entertained as your kid. Perfect. Can't go wrong.
Oh yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Good. So we're gonna be watching that for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, exactly. Then still have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours that you won't get to watch, even though you've been watching your whole life because there's so much
football, and Mickey Mouse. It's pretty much what we watch.
That's living the dream, I think. That sounds like the best thing ever. Mix in a little bit of Sesame Street, and that's basically my house. All right, buddy. Skull Vikes, I will talk to you on Monday.
Yeah, hopefully after a win.
After a big win. A big, no doubt win by more than 14 points.
Going into the bye, and everyone is healthy.
Yep, everyone's healthy, and everybody's impressed with the performance. Skull Vikes.